In this video, we will be graphing quadratic equations using transformations. So we used transformations back in a previous lesson. We're going to utilize it again, but this time we're going to utilize it on this specific function f of x equals x squared. So our basic quadratic function. These are called parabolas. The great thing about parabolas is that we can start by graphing them using just a simple table of values as seen here. So we can just start plugging in values and getting out the y values. So plug in the x's, spits out the y's. We can graph those and notice it makes this nice U shape that is in orange. That is our parabola. Couple of cool things about the parabola. Number one, it has its vertex right here at the bottom. That point we call HK. In this case, it's just 0, 0. So that is the vertex 0, 0 of the equation. And notice that every parabola has symmetry right down the center. This line is called the axis of symmetry, this red dotted line. For every parabola, we can fold it over that axis of symmetry, and it'll always be x equals the h value. So in this case, it's x equals 0 because our h value was 0. So that is our basic setup for every parabola, and we can transform these using the transformations we discussed earlier. So let's walk through a couple of transformations on this parabola. All right, so here's our first example. So if we are given this graph of f of x equals x squared, what transformations must be done to get the equation g of x equals x squared plus 3? So remember that x squared, that plus 3 right there, because it's outside. Let me do this in purple. Let me use a different color. So I don't want to use blue again because the original graph is already in blue. Okay, so this plus 3 tells me that I am moving the graph up 3 units. I'm doing a vertical shift up 3 units. So I will take every single point on this graph. So I'm going to start with my vertex. I'm going to move it up 3, and it moves right here. So my vertex is right there. Notice I'm not moving left or right, so my axis of symmetry is not moving. My axis of symmetry is still going to be that vertical line x equals 0. That's still my axis of symmetry. So it's really important. We're not moving it left or right, so it's going to stay right there. And then every subsequent value is also going to get moved up 3. So these 2 units will also get moved up 3. So notice the pattern is still going to remain the same, that we start here, we go over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1. So from this vertex, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1. And then the next point on the graph is 2, 4, and negative 2, 4. So I will take those points and move them up 3, and move those up 3. So notice you will still get a parabola. Please don't make fun of my drawing. So there's my parabola. So it just took that whole parabola in blue. I have shifted it up 3 units, and I get that parabola in purple. All right, what if I do a transformation and I want g of x to be x minus 4 quantity squared? So because we are inside, that is a horizontal shift. So horizontal. And remember, horizontal shifts go the opposite way you think they're going to go. So this is a horizontal shift, and we are going to go right 4. Even though it says minus 4, we're going to go right 4. So that means everything, including that axis of symmetry, everything is going to move right 4. So this vertex that was here is now going to be over here. And that means our axis of symmetry has now been moved to x equals 4. So instead of it being x equals 0, where it was before, on the original graph, it is now x equals 4. We have moved it 4 to the right. And then every single point, we will also move 4 to the right. So you will end up with this parabola. So it looks like I took that blue parabola, I shifted the entire thing over 4 units, and I get that parabola in orange. All right, let's do 2 of those together. So if you have a vertical shift, so I've got a vertical shift over here, I'm going to go down 1, so I'm going to go down 1 unit, and then I've also got this shift here where I am going right 2. So I have to do both things to my graph. Now, remember the axis of symmetry is only going to be affected by the shifts left or right. So the axis of symmetry, which was at x equals 0, is now going to be at x equals 2. So I'm going to draw in my new axis of symmetry. So there's my axis of symmetry, x equals 2. And then each point I am going to move down 1 and right 2, or right 2 and then down 1, whatever you prefer. So right 2 and down 1. So there's my vertex, right 2, down 1. Then each of these, I'm going to move right 2 and down 1. And then each of the 2, 4, I'm going to move those right 2 and down 4. So that will end up here, and that will end up here. So now I end up with this parabola. Right, so it looks like I took the blue one, I shifted it right 2 and then down 1, and that gave me the green one. So definitely take some time to go back and review some of these transformations if you need to from the previous unit. Just again, go back in your notes, or you can go back on my YouTube channel and you can find them there as well. All right, and our last example where we're going to do a bunch of them all together. All right, so we have got 3 things going on here, right? We have got a vertical shift up 3. We have got a horizontal shift, right 1. But we also have this negative in front, which means we are going to reflect over the x-axis. So it's going to flip this whole thing upside down. So remember, when you have multiple steps, that you need to make sure that you do the steps in the right order. So remember, do the horizontal shifting, then we're going to do the reflecting over the x-axis, and lastly, we will do the up 3. So make sure you do them in the right order, because if you don't, you will get the wrong graph. So very important. So if you need to, please go back and review that video, especially on multiple transformations. Definitely going to be important that we covered back in a previous unit. All right, so you may need to do this in multiple steps. I kind of do. I can do the right, I'll do these in order by color just to make it easier for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this whole thing, I'm going to move it right 1. So right 1 would make it look like this. So 2, 4, 2, 4. Okay, so there's my right 1. So there's the first shift. All right, then I'm going to reflect it. So I'm going to do that in orange. So then I'm going to reflect it over the x-axis. So if I do that, then the point on the x-axis is going to stay where it is. Everything else is going to reflect. So now I have this. So there is my parabola. And then the last thing you're going to do, and I'm going to do that in purple, is to move that whole thing up 3. So you're going to move it your vertex up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then move each of these points 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So that purple will be our final answer. That purple parabola, that is our g of x. So very important that you label them as well as you're working on them. All right, so hopefully this helps. Please go back and review those transformation videos, and we will do some more graphing in our next lesson.